Hey guys, I'm EJ and this is I'd Review That. Get ready for hay rides, mazes, and pumpkin picking because we're going to the farm. Specifically, we're going to the Heartland Fall Family Festival that's hosted by Heartland Events in Bowling Green, Florida. So as a kid, one of my favorite things about Halloween, well, other than the costumes, candy, and trick-or-treating, was going to pick out a pumpkin. Because that meant hopping in the car, driving out to the farm to pick one out. But the cool thing was the farm had other things there to do other than just picking out a pumpkin. You could build a scarecrow, you could go on a hayride, you could go through a corn maze. And ever since moving down to Florida, that's something I've tried to find that I could relive some of those childhood memories with my own family. And I'm glad to say that 4 years ago, that's when we found the Heartland Fall Family Festival. We fell in love with it, and we've been going back every year since. So Heartland Events is a really interesting place. They have the Fall Family Festival, they have a Christmas Tree Festival, and they host a number of activities throughout the year. They have a lot of really nice amenities and a lot of attractions that are fun for the entire family. And every year they get better. They always add something or improve something, and this year was no different. So as I mentioned, Heartland Events has a lot of really nice amenities and some things you might not expect to find in a farm in the middle of Florida. Some of those amenities includes 2 really large tents with picnic tables, a big pavilion, bathroom trailer, a food truck, and a nice country store. And Heartland is decorated exactly the way you would expect for a fall family festival. There's pumpkins and corn and scarecrows and hay, but they took it a step above. They took some really big hay bales. Now I'm talking about hay bales that are almost as tall as I am, and made a spider, a scarecrow, a pig, and a cow. So as I mentioned, Heartland has a lot of activities for the entire family. But I didn't realize how many activities they had until I sat down to list them out myself. And Heartland has some activities that you might find in a typical backyard. There's cornhole and checkers and horseshoes. They have a big sports wall that has baseball, football, and basketball. They have a volleyball court. They have a 4-square court. They have a big spider web to climb in. They have hook and ring games all over the place. They have a couple of tether balls. And they even have this cool duck racing game where you use an old style well to get the duck through the course. And Heartland has some activities that you probably won't find many other places. They have big tire swings, they have slides that are made from culvert pipes, they have crawling tunnels that are made from culvert pipes, they have a tire jungle gym that's made from old tractor tires, they have human foosball, they have a little cattle wrangling game, they have these big roller pipes, they have a maze, they have this thing called the battle zone, which is kind of like shooting Nerf guns at each other, they have a water bottle cannon. Yep. And they have a huge jumping pillow. And Heartland even has some of the things that you would typically expect to find on a farm. They have a petting zoo. They have a hay ride. They have this cool barrel cow ride train thing. And they even have a couple of sheds that teach you about different farming. They have dairy farming, beekeeping, cattle farming, and even citrus farming. And one of the reasons we first started going to Heartland was because of the maze. They have a big 5-acre sunflower field that they use to cut their maze through. And every year they do a really cool design. This year you have the American flag with the bald eagle and the words "In God We Trust" underneath. So one of the problems I came up against when looking for reviews of Heartland Events is that there just are not very many of them in general. There's not very many negative ones, but there's also not very many positive ones. And that really hindered me when I was first deciding on whether or not to go there, because I like to look at the reviews and see what other people are saying. So, because of the lack of reviews, there's not a whole lot of information out there about Heartland Events from a consumer perspective. But one of the things I can tell you, some of the negative ones are kind of dated at this point. Someone complained that the activities are all geared towards children and nothing really there for adults, that there's no food options, and that you're going to need some sunblock and water to kind of spend some time there. But some of the positive ones said that it's an amazing place for families, that the staff is beyond friendly, and that the events that they do there are really amazing. So I side with the positive reviews when it comes to Heartland Events. They have a lot of really nice amenities. They have a lot of nice attractions for both children and adults alike. One thing I will say is that there is a lack of shade there, but you're on a farm in the middle of Florida, so you would kind of expect to have to bring some kind of sunscreen to keep yourself protected. Now, while there is a lack of shade on the property, one of the things that I don't remember being there last year that's present now is they have kind of this misting station that's in the middle of everything that you can go to. They have it running, and it actually really does cool you off. Now, it doesn't protect you from the sun, but it's a nice way to kind of cool off. It was a nice way actually for us to end coming out of the maze, because we were pretty hot coming out of that maze, but being able to walk right towards that misting station was really nice. So while there may not be a lot of shade, there are a couple of things that Heartland Events has done to help kind of cool you off while you're there. So now it's time for my rating of the Fall Family Festival at Heartland Events, and I'm going to give it a flying ostrich. It may seem unnecessary to give a rating because I've already mentioned that I've been there 4 years in a row now and that I'll continue to go there, but it's one of those things. We've tried a couple of other pumpkin patches, and this is the best one that we've found, and that's why we like going there. Not only does it remind me of my childhood, but they have a lot of really cool things going on, and like I mentioned before, every year they're always improving, adding a little twist here, a little twist there, and just improving slightly every year. So every year it gets better, and it makes you want to go back because they do change things. They don't just rest on doing the same thing every year. Every year they change it up, so it gives you something new every time you go. And if you like this review, please give it a thumbs up and please share. And if you'd like to hear more reviews like this, please subscribe to my channel. Other than that, that's all I've got. Happy Halloween. I'm EJ, and this is I'd Review That.